Good morning, viewers. It's your usual host, Dansu Daniel Mami Osua, and I'm here with.
David John Joseph Von Berg.
And
Eidu Abna Danswa.
so today we are going to be talking about coronavirus, and this topic is a very sensitive and unique topic as it concerns our health. So, David, what is the coronavirus? People have been saying that the coronavirus is not real. What are your views on that?
First of all, I would like to greet all the viewers watching us right now. You are mostly welcome to this episode of this show. First of all, COVID is very real and it is killing so many people around the world daily. The coronavirus is a pneumonia like respiratory illness which affects the lungs of a person after he has been infected with the virus, which later causes the gradual deterioration of the lungs, which can later cause death to the individual. It first originated in Wuhan after the SARS-CoV-2 got mutated through different diseases coming in contact with it, which then made a more sinister and deadly disease, which residents of Wuhan started complaining that their colleagues were getting infected with and there was no cure for it. Many did not pay attention to it, which led them to travel around the world without them knowing that they were carrying such a dangerous crisis to the world. After many people got infected with it, later in 2020, the World Health Organization, also known as WHO, stated this as a global pandemic.
So, Abina, would you like to add more information about COVID 19?
Yes, so David here has said it all, but I would like to add a little bit to what he said. So, coronavirus is an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2. It mainly spreads through human contact, coming into contact with infected people, and in turn touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Ghana started recording cases of coronavirus around March 2020, and it led into a lockdown.
So, Abena, could you tell us the ways in which one can contract the disease?
So one can contract the disease by coming into contact with an infected person, touching contaminated surfaces, and in turn touching your eyes, nose, and mouth.
So, David, could you please add more to the ways in which one can contract the disease?
Okay, Danielle, there are many ways, but I will stress on just four today. One of them is to clean and disinfect surfaces. As the COVID-19, when an infected person mucus or his saliva or his sweat touches any surface such as furniture, doorknobs, toys or anything like that, the virus stays on it for a very long time, which means if it is not cleaned frequently, it can stay on it for as long as 72 hours as it does on plastic, or if we are lucky it can stay on it for as less than 4 hours for copper. But this must not make you feel like you do not care about it, for you must always clean it. Secondly, you must self-quarantine yourself if you are sick. If you feel any symptoms of the COVID-19 virus on your body or you feel it, you must call your doctor or someone or a health personnel. Then stay in the house until you are able to go for a checkup, and then they say if you have it, then you still self-quarantine yourself. If you don't, you just take some medicines to cure your disease. Maybe it is a cough or a cold. Another way is to avoid gathering in groups, as if you gather in groups and then if a person can easily spread it in groups. If they sneeze, if they cough mistakenly, but if it is a wild gathering, then they start to sweat, and then any of the sweat touches you, the virus can simply enter the pores of your skin and you'll be infected with the disease. So for now, it will be very good that you stay at home or stay away from crowds. That is why you must always keep one distance from a person near you, or else you can easily get the virus right there. Another way is that we should not go in public to eat or drink. I understand that is something that many of us do, but for this one, we are begging you guys that stay in the house. This is because you can delay and you can ask for delivery of your food, or you can get takeaway, but do not eat in public places, as you do not know the people who are sitting near you. Maybe one of them is a carrier. A carrier means that it is somebody who has the virus. Maybe his incubation time is not yet up. For the incubation time, it means the days between when you got the virus to when your symptoms start to appear. So he thinks he's safe, but you too, you think he's safe, but you might not know that he's carrying the virus, and that when he's speaking to his friend and any of the spit or saliva leaves his mouth, it can contaminate your food.
Okay. So, Abena, could you please add more to what David just said?
Okay, so some of the ways in which you can prevent yourself from contracting this virus is by one, washing your hands with an antiviral or antibacterial based soap. These soaps are said to remove 99.9% of germs from your hands, so it's important to wash your hands with these types of soap. Washing your hands under running water too is very important because when you wash your hands under running water, it's safer than washing your hands with still water. Another way in which you can prevent yourself from contracting coronavirus is by wearing your nose mask. When you wear your nose mask, it doesn't mean that you are not going to contract this disease, but it reduces the rate at which you can contract the disease. Another way is by social distancing. You have to at least stand 6 feet away from someone as you may not know who is carrying the virus.
So, viewers, these are the preventive measures to take in order to prevent the disease. Now, we are moving on to the coronavirus vaccines. There has been no specific treatment for the virus, but companies have provided vaccines to help to fight against the disease. So, Abena, could you tell us what the vaccine is and how it works?
So what a vaccine is that it injects weaker parts of that virus into your immune system and then trains your immune system against it to help fight against that particular virus in your body. So there have been a lot of vaccines produced by different health organizations, and I'm going to be talking about five of them. So one of the vaccine that has been produced is the Moderna vaccine, which has been approved in 76 countries. The Gamaleya vaccine, which has been approved in 73 countries. The Johnson and Johnson vaccine has been approved in 75 countries, and the AstraZeneca vaccine has been approved in 124 countries. In Ghana, about 3.1 million of the population, about 3.1 million doses of the vaccine have been fully given, and then 833,000 have collected all the vaccines, and then 2.7% of Ghana's population has been vaccinated.
So, David, could you please give us more information about the vaccine and its statistics?
Of course, Daniel. So we have the vaccines which my fellow Pandya talked about, such as the Moderna, which was made in Europe. We have the AstraZeneca, which is also known as the Oxford, which is one of the few vaccines which are able to be kept in normal freezers, unlike the rest. We have the Johnson and Johnson, which was made in the United States. We have the Gamaleya, which is also known as the Sputnik V, which was one of the newest vaccines which were made, with some variants even coming from South Africa. For the statistics of the virus, we have that 79% of the people who have taken it are white, 10% are African American, 5% of them are Asian, 3% are other races and ethnicities which have been all packed together, 1% is Native Americans, and 1% are Native Hawaiians.
Viewers, from what he just said, the whites have taken the vaccine the more, and we the blacks have not taken any interest in receiving the vaccine, meaning there is a problem. And this problem is that people have started various conspiracy theories about the vaccine. So, Abena, I would like you to tell us some of these theories and debunk them.
Okay, so ever since the COVID-19 vaccines were created, there have been many anti-vaccination organizations that have been bringing out various conspiracy theories about the vaccine. So one of the conspiracy theories was that the vaccine renders a woman infertile. So when we say someone is infertile, it means that the person is unable to conceive. So I'm here to debunk this theory today. A lot of studies have shown that taking in the vaccine rather helps you to be able to conceive naturally. Some women were given the vaccine and then later on they conceived within a short period. So this shows that all those conspiracy theories and lies about the vaccine rendering a woman infertile are lies. Another conspiracy theory was that the vaccine implants microchips into one's system.
I would like to add this. The following are the ingredients of the vaccine: messenger ribonucleic acid, lipids, which are the end products of fats, salt, sugar, acid stabilizers, and acids. And these ingredients show that the vaccine does not insert any microchip inside of you once you get vaccinated. So, Abdullah, please continue.
Another conspiracy theory was that vaccinated people can share this vaccine to unvaccinated people. I mean, when I heard this conspiracy theory, I was really shocked because I earlier on said that the vaccine works in your immune system. So, how can one who has the vaccine in his or her immune system spread the vaccine to someone who doesn't have the vaccine? Okay, so another conspiracy theory was that the vaccines haven't gone through all the stages and the trials they are supposed to go through before they are tested on human beings. The vaccines didn't skip any stage of trials and have been tested and approved by World Health Organization. So all these conspiracy theories are lies.
So, David, would you like to give us more conspiracy theories and debunk them?
Yes, Daniel. So we have some which include Bill Gates. Some say Bill Gates is a scapegoat using this virus to get more money for himself. This is said because in 2015, Bill Gates was at a TED Talk where he was talking about the Ebola pandemic and how when it will end, there will be a new pandemic which will rise. People thought that Bill Gates had a foreknowledge of the virus which was to come in the year 2019, but instead, you can just say that Bill Gates took a lucky guess and it worked. For Bill Gates is not trying to attack anybody in the world population, but instead is even trying to help us. Another conspiracy theory which has been surfacing is that the virus escaped out of a Chinese lab. This is a lie. Many people believe it as when it came out, it was said that an institute known as the Wuhan Institute of Virology was studying the bat coronaviruses and how they can affect humans. It was just a very large coincidence that the SARS-CoV-2, which got mutated into the coronavirus, was in the same city as the studies for the new bat coronaviruses. This all shows that this is another lie, and I have to debunk it so that people don't follow this. Once again, there is another one there, which is that GMOs are to blame. GMOs are genetically modified crops, which are made when scientists add chemicals which can boost growth into the crops. Some people say that some of the chemicals might have fused with some of the scientists' DNA, which then caused this new virus known as the COVID-19. Even though GMOs have been the first talk when it comes to causing viruses, they have not caused any virus since they came into this world. Another one was, next of all, we have that it is being manipulated by the deep state. The deep state is said to be an America's elite force which is trying to undermine the president and all what he's doing. They say that Anthony Fauci, the head for fighting against the coronavirus for the US of A, is a secret member of this organization. And some say that after his sigh of disbelief when it was said that they were part of the conspiracy theories, might have gave the game away. But this is another false theory, as Anthony Fauci himself is trying his best to make sure that every single person in the United States is vaccinated so that they can all be protected. Once again, another one is that it is not real. This is even one that is in Ghana, as most say that Obuo got the coronavirus, and when his son was staying near him without him knowing he had the coronavirus, did not get it, and Obuo later recovered. This makes people still think that maybe the coronavirus is not real, but instead it is just another plot by all governments around the world to get more money from their people who follow them. Once again, I will say a few more before I end, that it was created as a biological weapon. Some say that the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the one that I earlier said, people say is responsible for the coronavirus, is tied to the Beijing Bioweapons Program, which is a program which is making biological weapons so that they can attack different nations, not by only weapons and bombs, but instead by chemicals and things like that. Last of all, they say that COVID-19 death rates are inflated. I myself can debunk this story, saying that many friends of mine have lost their family and friends as the COVID-19 contaminated them or infected them, which made them all die sadly. Thank you.
Okay, so viewers, we now know that all these false lies are conspiracy theories. So please don't be afraid to take the vaccine and get vaccinated, as the vaccines are all safe. So David, do you have any last words to give to our viewers?
Of course, Daniel. Get vaccinated. The vaccine is the only long-term way to fight against the virus. Make sure to take it with all your family and friends to avoid any of you contracting this dangerous disease which has affected the world right now.
Thank you very much. And Abena, could you tell anything to our viewers?
Okay, so my last message will be to the camera. Are you vaccinated? The COVID-19 vaccine works hard to protect your family and friends from contracting this dangerous disease. Get vaccinated and also encourage other people to also get vaccinated. Thank you.
We've heard it all. COVID-19 costs lives, but the vaccine costs nothing. So please get vaccinated. What are you waiting for? Get vaccinated in order to protect your family and friends from this disease. Get vaccinated. Thank you very much for listening. See you next week. Stay safe.